Stoic advice on what to do in difficult days. Ever wonder how to face those days when everything seems to go wrong? Amidst the relentless turbulence of our lives, there arises an opportunity for refuge, a beacon of calm in the storm. Stoicism. This video is an invitation to journey together down a less traveled path, yet infinitely rewarding. Here are 11 pieces of advice, forged in ancient and timeless wisdom to guide us through tough times. First advice, the art of perception. In a world full of unpredictabilities, where each new day can bring both wonders and challenges, the wisdom of Epictetus resonates with stunning clarity. He teaches us a powerful lesson. It's not the events themselves that disturb our souls, but rather the perceptions we have of them. Seems simple, doesn't it? But oh, how profoundly transformative this concept is. How often have you found yourself distressed, not by what actually happened, but by the story you told yourself about the occurrence? A harsh word from a friend, a meeting that didn't go as planned, a rainy day when you expected sunshine. It's not the event itself, but the meaning we attribute to it that shapes our emotional reality. Epictetus invites us, or rather challenges us, to take control of the only territory where we truly have power, our mind. He asks us, rhetorically, but with a clear purpose, are you willing to become the master of your perception, to change the lens through which you view the world? Imagine the power of transforming adversity into opportunity, frustration into learning, and despair into hope. Wouldn't that be revolutionary? Here's a practical exercise, inspired by the teachings of this great philosopher. The next time you encounter a situation that would typically trigger a negative reaction, pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, how else can I see this? Is there something here I can learn or appreciate? This simple shift in perspective can not only alleviate your immediate suffering, but also open pathways to a new way of living. The art of perception, as taught by Epictetus, is truly an art form. It requires practice, patience, and a healthy dose of curiosity about human nature. It's an invitation to dance with life rather than fight against it. Transforming our perception not only changes our internal world, it has the potential to change the very world around us. So are you ready to embark on this journey? Ready to challenge your automatic reactions and discover the freedom that comes with understanding that you have the final say in how life events are perceived? Epictetus offers us the tools. It's up to us to use them to sculpt a reality where adversity is not a threat, but an invitation to growth and transformation. 2. Live in the present. In an era where the ticking of the clock echoes louder in our minds than the beating of our hearts, the age-old wisdom of Marcus Aurelius offers a safe harbor. Focus only on the present, on how to use it to the best advantage. In a few words, the philosopher-emperor invites us on a journey of rediscovery to the essence of now, unfolding before us not only the key to serenity, but also to a full and meaningful life. But why, you might wonder, is anchoring ourselves in the present so crucial? The answer lies in the inescapable truth that the past, tempting us with its memories, is a closed book, and the future, a blank page, yet unwritten and beyond our reach. The only moment truly ours, the only one we can shape, experience, and enjoy, is now. Living in the present, however, goes beyond a mere philosophical concept. It's a practice, an art that requires mindfulness and intentionality. Imagine for a moment your life as a rushing river. Many of us choose to swim against the current, struggling to revisit past waters or eager to reach those yet to come. Marcus Aurelius, however, advises us to go with the flow, to feel every drop of water, every wave, fully experiencing each moment. So how can we cultivate this presence? It starts with breathing, a return to basics, to the core of our existence. Take a deep breath consciously and observe how, with each inhale and exhale, you become more grounded in the now. Allow yourself to fully feel the breeze on your skin, the distant sound of laughter, the texture of the ground beneath your feet. Each of these experiences is a powerful reminder that life happens here and now. Another practice is gratitude. Instead of lamenting what was or yearning for what will be, direct your attention to what is. The simple fact of being alive, of being able to experience the richness of sensations, thoughts, and emotions, is a miracle worthy of appreciation. Each present moment is a gift, full of possibilities and opportunities to grow, learn, and love. And when the mind insists on wandering to the past or future, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. Ask yourself, how can I make the best use of this moment? This question, simple yet profound, can transform how we experience life, leading us to a more intentional, focused, and ultimately fuller existence. So I invite you to pause right now, breathe, look around you, be present. This moment is all we have, and it is incredibly precious. By embracing the present, we not only follow Marcus Aurelius's advice, but also open ourselves to the beauty and fullness of life, just as it is here and now. Remember, living in the present is not neglecting the past or ignoring the future. It's recognizing that the true essence of life, its sweetest flavor, is always in the moment we are living. It is here that we find peace, contentment, and true joy. So let's embrace each moment, living fully with attention and gratitude, and allow our life to flow beautifully and serenely in the eternal now. 3. Transforming obstacles into opportunities. Amidst the intricate tapestry that is life, with its countless intertwined threads of joys and adversities, arises a provocative thought from Seneca. No wind is favorable for those who do not know where they are going. This maxim not only resonates with a profound truth about human nature and its quest for direction and purpose, but also sheds light on a powerful strategy for facing challenges, transforming obstacles into opportunities. But how exactly can we make this transformation? How can we see in the adversities that seem to block our path, doors waiting to be opened? The answer begins with clarity of purpose. Knowing where you are going gives meaning to your efforts and turns every challenge into a step towards achieving your higher goals. It's not just about reaching a destination, but about the journey and what you become along the way. When we have a clear destination in mind, every setback can be reframed as an opportunity to learn, grow, and refine our trajectory. Consider for a moment the great innovators, artists, and leaders throughout history. Many of them not only faced significant obstacles, but also used these very obstacles as springboards to success. They understood that within every challenge lies a valuable lesson, a chance to refine their vision and strengthen their character. Now look at the challenges ahead of you. Instead of seeing them as insurmountable barriers, ask yourself, what is this obstacle trying to teach me? How can I use this situation to get closer to my ultimate goal? This approach not only alleviates the weight of adversity, but also puts you in control, transforming passive resistance into actively seizing opportunities. The practice of transforming obstacles into opportunities is, at its core, an exercise in resilience and creativity. It requires a willingness to experiment, to make mistakes, and most importantly, to keep moving forward with an attitude of openness and curiosity. It's an art, the art of navigating life not as a leaf blown in the wind, but as a skilled sailor who uses every gust of wind to adjust their sails and stay on course. And here's the invitation to you. Start seeing challenges not as stop signs, but as signs that you're on the right path. facing exactly what you need to become the fullest and most fulfilled version of yourself. Approach each obstacle as a disguised question whose answer reveals a path even more aligned with your true purpose. So what will be your next challenge to transform into an opportunity? How can you adjust your sails today to harness the winds of adversity in your favor? The journey may be arduous, but remember, no wind is favorable for those who do not know where they are going. Set your course, adjust your sails, and prepare to turn every obstacle into an opportunity for growth and discovery. 4. Virtue is sufficient for happiness. Imagine for a moment that you are in a vast and majestic empire, ruling over endless lands, facing daily challenges that could easily crush anyone's spirit. Now imagine that despite this, you find a sanctuary of peace and contentment not outside, but within yourself. This was Marcus Aurelius, an emperor not only of vast lands but also of his own mind. His message is clear. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. This principle, deeply rooted in Stoicism, resonates with a power that transcends ages. How are your thoughts currently? Are they your allies, guiding you through the fog of daily challenges with virtue and serenity? Or have they become obstacles, overshadowing your journey with doubts and fears? Reality, as complex as it is, can be perceived in as many ways as the stars in the night sky. However, Marcus Aurelius teaches us something revolutionary. Serenity is not a gift from external circumstances, but a treasure we discover within ourselves. In the face of life's gales, it's easy to feel tossed to and fro, with no control over anything. But what if I told you that within you resides immense power? The power to shape your perception, to choose virtue over chaos, to select peace over disturbance. No matter the whirlwind around you, calmness can be yours if your thoughts are nurtured carefully, like a gardener tending to their plants with love and attention. Now think. In moments of adversity, have you allowed the external storm to invade your inner self? Or have you found the strength to remain calm, remembering that true peace comes from within? Marcus Aurelius wasn't just speaking as a philosopher. He lived these principles daily, facing challenges that few of us can imagine. Virtue is, therefore, not just a path to happiness, but its very essence. It's a choice we make every day, in every thought we allow to dwell in our minds. And the beauty of it is that we are always just one thought away from changing our lives for the better. So I invite you to ask yourself, are you ready to align your thoughts with virtue? To discover the serenity that exists regardless of the storms around? The journey may be challenging, yes, but remember, the reward is true peace of mind and authentic happiness. 5. The discipline of will. Imagine for a moment that your will is like a muscle, not visible to the eyes, but palpable in its essence, capable of being strengthened and developed with the correct and consistent exercise. This analogy takes us to the heart of Stoic wisdom, which teaches us that through practice and self-control, we can shape our will, making it an unshakable fortress in the face of life's storms. But how does discipline lead us to freedom? This question may seem paradoxical at first glance. After all, how can the rigidity of discipline coexist with the fluidity of freedom? The key to unraveling this mystery lies in understanding that true freedom is not doing everything we desire, but having the power to choose what is right and following that path with determination and purpose. How often do we feel imprisoned by our own habits, compulsions, or fleeting desires? Instead of being masters of our own destiny, we become slaves to circumstances, reacting automatically to what happens to us, without reflection or discernment. And how can we strengthen this will through practice and self-control? Imagine incorporating small daily practices into your routine, like waking up a little earlier, dedicating time to meditation, or setting specific goals for your personal development. Each of these actions, although small on its own, serves as a brick in the construction of a great wall of determination and self-control. Over time, you begin to realize that what once seemed impossible now becomes part of who you are. But are you ready to embark on this journey? The discipline of will is an invitation to reassess our choices and behaviors, a call to action for those who wish not only to dream, but to accomplish. By adopting discipline, you are not renouncing your freedom. You are reclaiming it. You are choosing a path of authenticity, purpose, and above all, personal power. 6. Acceptance. Navigating the waters of life with grace and serenity often seems like a Herculean feat, especially when the waves seem more like storms than gentle ripples. Here, at the heart of our journey, Epictetus's teachings shine like a beacon, illuminating a path often forgotten, that of acceptance. Do not demand that things happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do, and your life will flow well. Simple words, yet laden with unfathomable depth. Acceptance, as proposed by Epictetus, is far from being a surrender or passivity in the face of life's forces. On the contrary, it is a vigorous choice, an active stance of embracing life with all its whims and surprises. But how can we cultivate this stance? How can we learn to wish for things to happen as they indeed happen? First, it is crucial to understand that acceptance does not mean liking everything that happens to us, nor resigning ourselves to a fate that seems unjust or painful. It means rather recognizing reality as it is, without coating it with layers of shoulds and if-onlys. It means letting go of the tug-of-war with reality, realizing that often resistance intensifies our suffering. Acceptance is also recognizing that, while we cannot control the winds of life, we have the ability to adjust our sails. This leads us to a deeper understanding of our own agency. We can choose our attitude towards what life presents to us. We can decide to find beauty and learning even in the storms. Now imagine for a moment your life flowing with the tranquility of a river, winding through valleys and mountains. This river does not oppose the rocks in its path. It simply navigates around them, following its natural course. That is the power of acceptance. By wishing for things to happen as they do, we open space for peace and serenity in our hearts, regardless of external circumstances. But how to incorporate this wisdom into our daily lives? Start small. When something doesn't go as planned, take a deep breath and remember Epictetus's words. Ask yourself, can I change this situation? If the answer is no, then ask, how can I change my reaction to it? This process of questioning can help us practice active acceptance, leading us to a life of greater harmony and contentment. I invite you then to reflect on acceptance not as a final destination, but as a continuous journey of self-discovery and growth. A journey where each challenge becomes an opportunity to practice the art of wishing for things to happen as they do, thus cultivating a life that truly flows well. 7. Freedom comes from within. As we delve deeper into our exploration of Stoicism and its transformative teachings, we find in Seneca a voice that echoes through the centuries, reminding us of a fundamental truth. The essence of freedom lies not in the removal of external obstacles, but in the inner strength to live with integrity, regardless of the tumultuous waves of fate. This idea, simple in its essence, is revolutionary in its application, offering us a compass to navigate the storms of existence with serenity and purpose. But what does it mean to live with integrity in a world filled with uncertainties? Living with integrity is to walk through life with a sense of purpose and authenticity, to be aligned with your deepest values even when the world around you seems to crumble. It is the ability to say no when all you want is to please, and the courage to say yes when it means standing alone against the tide. Imagine for a moment the freedom that comes from this inner strength. It is not the freedom to do as you please, but the freedom to do what you must. The freedom to choose the right path instead of the easy one. The freedom that comes from being true to yourself, even when it requires sacrifice. And how can we develop this capacity? First, self-knowledge. It all begins with self-awareness. Ask yourself, what are my core values? What is truly important to me? The journey to inner freedom begins with these questions, for we can only live with integrity when we know what it means to us. Next is emotional resilience. Developing emotional resilience is crucial. This means learning to face adversity with calmness and perspective, remembering that while we cannot control external events, we can control how we respond to them. And finally, aligned action. Living with integrity requires that our actions align with our values. This means making conscious choices, acting with compassion and justice, and being willing to face the consequences of those actions, knowing that they reflect who we truly are. So what does Seneca teach us about freedom? He reminds us that true freedom is internal. It is not something that can be granted or taken away by external forces, but something we develop and cultivate within ourselves. This freedom is the cornerstone of the Stoic life, a life lived with purpose, meaning, and above all, with integrity. In a world that often values external success above all else, Seneca's message offers a powerful reminder that the true measure of our freedom and success lies not in wealth, power, or recognition, but in the quality of our character and the depth of our integrity. 8. Practice self-reflection. In a world that constantly pushes us toward action, toward the next great achievement, the practice of self-reflection emerges as a beacon of wisdom, guiding us back to the essence of who we truly are and what we truly value. Introspection is not just an exercise in self-awareness. It is a revolutionary act of self-care, a way to ensure that every step we take is in harmony with the core of our existence. When night falls, bringing with it the silence that invites reflection, the perfect opportunity arises to look inward. This quiet moment, away from the demands and noise of the day, is a precious gift. It is where you can ask yourself, did my actions today reflect my deepest values? What could I do differently so that my tomorrow is more aligned with who I aspire to be? This daily practice of self-questioning is not about harsh self-judgment or drowning in regrets. On the contrary, it is an invitation to be kind to yourself, a chance to acknowledge your strengths and face your weaknesses with courage and compassion. Each day offers us countless lessons, but only through reflection can we truly absorb them and grow from them. So how can one cultivate a consistent practice of self-reflection? Create a sacred space. Keep a reflection journal. Writing can be a powerful tool for introspection. Be kind to yourself. Self-reflection is a process of learning and growth, not self-flagellation. Celebrate your progress, forgive your mistakes, and remember that each day is a new opportunity to improve. By understanding self-reflection, you not only become more aware of yourself and your actions, but also pave the way for profound personal transformation. It is a journey of returning, day after day, to your true self, allowing yourself to be guided by your inner light. 9. Cultivate emotional resilience. Imagine for a moment that your mind is a fertile garden, where every thought, whether positive or negative, has the potential to sprout and grow. Now, think of emotional resilience as an essential skill, something you can indeed cultivate in this garden. This ability is not just a tool, it is an art that transforms the way we perceive and react to life's storms. How do we train our minds to see reality more objectively? The first step involves acknowledging that, while we cannot control everything that happens to us, we have the power to control how we respond. How? through the deliberate practice of observing our emotions without allowing them to dictate our actions. It's as if, instead of being swept away by a current of feelings, we learn to swim in it, keeping our heads above water, observing everything with clarity and calmness. And what is the impact of this emotional clarity on our resilience? When we learn to see our experiences without the veil of negative emotions, something extraordinary happens. We begin to recognize that within every challenge lies an opportunity for growth and learning. It's as if suddenly the world reveals itself not as a battlefield, but as fertile ground for cultivating our inner strength. Let's illustrate this. Think of a moment in your life when everything seemed to be against you. Perhaps it was a loss, a failure, or an apparently insurmountable challenge. Now reflect, how did you overcome that moment? It was likely your ability to adapt, to seek alternative solutions, and to find meaning in that difficulty that allowed you to emerge stronger. So Stoics, how can we cultivate this emotional resilience? The answer lies in training the mind. Start with small daily practices, meditation, reflective writing, or even deep conversations with friends or family. Each of these activities can help us better understand our emotions, identify patterns of negative thinking, and most importantly, rewrite those narratives in a way that empowers us. So why not start today? Cultivating emotional resilience is an invitation to a journey of self-discovery, growth, and above all, freedom. Freedom to choose how we will respond to life's waves, whether skillfully navigating them or learning from the falls. And remember, on this journey, you are not alone. We are all part of a community of brave souls, seeking not only to survive, but to thrive. 10. Stoicism in the workplace. At this point in our introspective journey, let's navigate the waters of Stoicism applied to the workplace, a territory where courage, ethics, and well-being converge and dance together, creating a scenario of productivity, harmony, and continuous growth. The corporate world, with its challenges and daily stresses, is the perfect stage for practicing Stoic teachings, turning obstacles into opportunities and conflicts into leadership lessons and self-awareness. But how can we incorporate these ancient principles into our professional routine? First, by understanding that the foundation of Stoicism at work is the perception that, although we cannot control external events, we have complete control over our reactions to them. This understanding empowers us, allowing us to face stress, uncertainties, and conflicts with a clear mind and a tranquil heart. Let's go through practical strategies for a Stoic workplace. 1. Facing stress. When stress knocks on the door, take a deep breath and remember the impermanence of all things. Ask yourself, will this problem affect my life a year from now? This simple question can help put things into perspective, reducing the weight we give to temporary setbacks. 2. Conflict resolution. In moments of disagreement, practice Stoic empathy. Try to see the situation through the other person's eyes, understanding their motivations without judgment. Remember that often inner peace is more valuable than being right. 3. Decision-making. Before making an important decision, pause and reflect on its long-term consequences, not just for you, but for others involved. Ask yourself, is this choice aligned with my core values? This exercise of reflection promotes more ethical and conscious decisions. All right, but how does this translate into leadership? A Stoic leader is one who, even in the face of storms, keeps the helm steady, guiding their team with confidence and calmness. This leader understands that personal example is the most powerful form of influence, showing through their actions how to face challenges with resilience and integrity. Now, reflect with me. Imagine a workplace where Stoic wisdom guides actions and decisions, where challenges are seen as opportunities for growth and conflicts as chances to strengthen the team. This place is not a distant utopia, but a possible reality, built one day at a time through conscious practice of Stoic principles. So what action can you take today to make this ideal a reality in your workplace? Remember, change starts within us. By adopting a Stoic stance towards professional challenges, we not only improve our own quality of life, but also positively influence those around us. And thus, step by step, we can transform our workplace into a space of growth, ethics, and shared well-being. Therefore, I encourage you to make this journey not just an exercise of thought, but a daily practice. And in doing so, you will discover that Stoicism is more than a philosophy. It is a path to a fuller and more meaningful life, both within and outside the workplace. 11. Communion with nature. In this final chapter of our odyssey through Stoicism and its application in various spheres of life, let's turn our attention to the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and his invitation to harmonize with the greatness of nature. For Marcus Aurelius, the cosmos was not only a majestic backdrop for human existence, but an inexhaustible source of lessons on humility, purpose, and belonging. Why is communion with nature so powerful? Imagine yourself standing before a towering mountain or contemplating the vast ocean. These moments have the singular power to make us feel part of something greater, something eternal. This sensation is not just emotional, but deeply Stoic in its essence. It reminds us of our smallness in the face of the universe, putting our problems, concerns, and struggles into a broader perspective. But how can this perception transform our worldview? By acknowledging our position in the grand scheme of things, we are invited to reflect on what truly matters. Our daily worries, often magnified by our troubled minds, begin to seem smaller, more manageable. It's not about denying our problems, but seeing them in a different light, a light that dissipates the shadows of fear and anxiety. What is the impact of this practice on our lives? Communion with nature, as Marcus Aurelius knew well, teaches us about resilience, renewal, and constant flow. We see that just as the seasons change and the rivers find their way to the sea, there is a cycle and an order in the universe that we can trust. This perception brings deep comfort and a sense of inner peace, reminding us that despite the storms, life goes on, beautiful and indomitable. And you, my Stoic friend, do you know what invitation nature extends to us? It is an invitation to humility, to reflection, and above all, to connection. Connection with the world around us, with others, and with ourselves. Nature teaches us that despite our differences and challenges, we are all part of something greater, a cosmic tapestry of life, interconnected and interdependent. Remember, the wisdom of nature is always available to us, provided we are willing to listen. And in doing so, we discover not only the beauty of the natural world, but also the profound beauty that resides within each of us, uniting us in the magnificent dance of life. Each piece of advice is not just a sentence to be read, but an invitation to reflection and, above all, to action. Stoic practice does not reside in theoretical knowledge, but in the daily application of its principles. Now imagine a world where each of us, facing the storm of our own struggles, chose to anchor ourselves in these truths. Where instead of being swept away by the chaos of circumstances, we stood firm in the solidity of our character and the clarity of our choices. This path is not easy. It requires courage, determination, and above all, a commitment to authenticity and continuous improvement. But it is a rewarding path, leading us to an unshakable inner fortress and to genuine and lasting happiness. What action will you take today to approach your best version? Explore with us more ancient wisdom that can transform your modern life. Subscribe to the channel and discover how each day can be a new opportunity for growth.